Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friends, good morning everybody. My name is Andris Sprūts. I am Director of Latvian Institute of International Affairs. I am also Professor at Riga University. And of course, I am very delighted and very honored to welcome everybody today at the event which is called International Forum on China and Central and Eastern European Countries Enhanced Connectivity for Common Advancement. I especially welcome our Chinese colleagues, Chinese friends and delegation. We are really highly appreciative of you coming here. And of course also our Central and East European partners, which is important in the 16+1 format. This is a special year for Latvia, as Riga has become a place for 16+1 summit. It is a great responsibility and honor for us. For us in Latvia, it is about extending and deepening our engagement and building mutual trust with China, but also extending our relations with our partners in Central and East European countries and taking advantages of those opportunities provided by the initiative. I think it is very timely and important to reflect on the fundamentals of our format and at the same time think and consider what are the future cooperation opportunities. The strategic vision is indispensable for any endeavor of such scale. A few years after launching, the 16+1 initiative has already grasped our imagination. And it's not just in terms of economic benefits. It's also in terms of inter-civilizational connectivity and enrichment. So basically, 16+1 format is about win-win philosophy. It is about mental remapping how we look at the world. It is about mutual opening, mutual respect, and mutual benefit. The 16+1 cooperation is also about diversity. Riga Summit is an example of this widening diversity, and it demonstrates how far we have progressed in the recent years. Previously, the Balkan countries, Visegrad countries, Carpathian countries, and now we are coming to the shores of the Baltic Sea, to the north, to the winter, as you have noticed. So welcome to the winter as well. So I think it shows the diversity, how different also and diverse we are here in the region. This meeting is one of the meetings. We have also the business forum, and of course tomorrow we will have also the big summit of the Prime Minister, so which is very important. So this demonstrates ever-increasing diversity and number of stakeholders as well. And it's not just about the governments. It's about enterprises, academics, intellectuals, artists. So this widens the feeling of ownership, which is very important for this format. Connectivity is the key. Infrastructure projects, of course, are the important part of this. But it's not just about hardware. It's also about software of our cooperation, inter-civilizational engagement and human connectivity. The mutual understanding is instrumental. Mutual soft power, mutual attractiveness is very important. China has done an immense and great job in this regard, and I think our mutual visits in the recent years is an important demonstration to this. So 16+1 is a success story in the times of uncertainties. And we have considerable prospects of taking advantages of those opportunities. And this forum International Forum of Experts is, of course, another building block in this direction. So I wish all the success to us with this forum. At the same time, I can add that the forum is a reflection of strong partnerships. Latvian Institute of International Affairs. Of course, we are very delighted that we can have this meeting in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also has been an important partner. Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, especially Institute of European Studies. Also the China and Central and East European countries think tanks networks. So these are our partners for this event, for the success of this event. So we are very appreciative to have such a strong partnership. But also I must add the support by Latvian Railways Company, Air Baltic and Ventspils Freeport Authority, the business is on the board, has been instrumental. So we are very thankful to our partners for cooperating, for putting this event together, and also our supporters for support for this event. So with this, I am happy to finish my introductory remarks, and I am very happy to give the floor to our co-organizer of this event, Director General Huang Ping, who is Director General of the Institute of European Studies at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, also Secretary General of China's and Central East European countries think tank network, also at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. So, Director General Huang, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, Your Excellency, also former President of Latvia, President Wang Weiguang, Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, all the guests. I'm very happy to be able to speak at the beginning for also opening remarks on behalf of the Institute of European Studies, CAS, Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, also on behalf of this think tank network for China, Central Eastern European countries. We are so happy to be able to co-organize this forum with Latvia Institute of International Affairs, especially with the support of the Latvia Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the support from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well, taking such an opportunity that Chinese Premier will come to pay the highest visit to Latvia, also to attend the 16+1 leaders meeting today and tomorrow. We co-organize this forum in order, as Mr. Director just said, to show how important the China-Latvia relationship, China Central Eastern European countries relationship, and China-Europe, especially EU partnership, which for 3 levels we see from the Chinese side are a real win-win collaboration case, even for the world. And from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, as well as for the think tank network, which encouraged last year from the leaders meeting in the Suzhou guidelines announced that we have organized, but actually it is an open platform mechanism for all the think tanks from the Central Eastern European countries and from China, who either are focusing on our research to countries mentioned or to our relationship. So this network is so happy today that we have invited the former president of Latvia, as well as our president of the Academy, Wang Weiguang, who is also the chair of the think tank network board, to address keynote speeches to all of us. We are also happy that Latvia Institute of International Affairs, as well as Latvia Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have invited people from EU, from other Central Eastern European countries to participate in this forum. And we will be very happy to listening to all of you, including speeches, but also discussions during the day. So now again, thank you for our co-organizers, host institutes, Latvia Institute of International Affairs. Thank you for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Director General, Mr. Huang. And now it's time for the keynote speeches. We are very privileged today to have 2 presidents the former President Valdis Zatlers, and also the President of Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, Mr. Wang Weiguang. So, President Zatlers, the floor is yours, please.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ni hao. I really have a great honor to speak to such a distinguished audience representing 17 states, their friends, and anybody who is interested in advancing the European-Chinese relationship. So I will start with some figures, and usually people expect that these will be economic figures, because economy matters first. But I'm not going to speak about current account deficits, GDP growth, or industrial production growth figures. I'll speak about very simple figures. If you look at the population of China and Europe as a whole, because I never divide Europe in some parts. Europe as a whole is represented in this room. Then we see that China has about 1.4 billion inhabitants. Europe as a whole, about the half of that. So that's one very important figure because it makes about nearly 30% of the global population if we put Europe and China together. And this is a very significant and very influential factor in global economy and the global advancement. So the next couple two not so often mentioned figures, like the average age of China is 37. The average age of Europe is 42. So that means that the Chinese society is slightly younger than the European society, which is a good thing, but the difference is not so significant to make a big problem out of that. Another figure, about 58% of Chinese population are urban. They live in the big cities. And about 74% of European population live in big cities. This is a slightly comparable difference how the society is organized. But, I'll say it again, we form altogether about 30% of global population. That means we are influential in this world. In this very, very difficult world, because we all have come here to make this world better, to make our economic relations better, to make our people-to-people relations better. In one word, to make our nations better off. That's our goal, as economists, as politicians, as just ordinary citizens. But the world economy is always unbalanced. This is a good thing because a slight unbalanced world economy is a driving force for economic growth. But it comes to the more greater disbalances, it may cause problems to all of us. We always speak about saving countries and consuming countries, saving economies and consuming economies. That's right. Some of us have the surpluses in their current accounts. Some of us have deficits in our current accounts. It is a good thing until, as I said before, it becomes a bigger gap than is necessary for economic growth. Because if it is likely for many people who don't understand too much deeply economics, surplus savings, that means good, we have more money. But we have to recognize that if someone saves too much and has a big surplus, this big surplus creates a deficit in another part of the world or in another country. And if the gap is a significant one, the demand is going down. And if the demand is going down, then inevitably, you know, we have slow growth. That's what we see in today's global economy. So we have to really understand what to do to get the demand back, because the demand will provide us with economic growth. The world economy is not the same as it was 10, 15 years ago, when it was very clear, you know, US the consumers and China the savers. It's not so anymore. China consumes much more today, and US, let's say, consumes less. So something has changed, but we have to adapt to this situation. The other thing that about 10 to 15 years ago, you know, the production was moved to some countries, including China, and the production costs went down very quickly, you know. We don't see it anymore. They go down, but by the other reasons, not just by moving the enterprises from one country to another country. So there are a lot of tasks to do, a lot of problems to tackle, but we are here to discuss the ways we can do that and to make some guidelines. And I must say here, the Suzhou guidelines are not the final guidelines. They should be updated year by every meeting we meet together. But let's go back to what we can do. One of the smartest tools to balance the world economy is a smart investment. And if you invest internally, you create demand for energy supplies. If you invest abroad, you really bring up the demand of your importers. So we are here representatives of 17 countries with a very nice task: how to make the investments smart. The investments should drive to the rise of demand in all our countries, and it will rise also our GDPs, and it will rise the global GDP. So it's easy to say, but we need a lot of communication. We need a lot of negotiations to make it smartly, not just invest. And all the parties involved in this process, and all the parties who are discussing this process in this room, will have some priorities which have to be put in some kind of framework to make it more effective. The second point, if we want to trade, we need to really establish safe, cost-effective, quick trading routes. And if people are talking about one belt, one road, it's the right thing to do, but we should really understand the first point, that we should develop both land trading routes and other sea trading routes. Because according to the economic situation, we must be flexible in the future using these routes. And just one route will not save us from any problems. It will just create problems. So the trading routes are absolutely nonsense if you don't have goods to trade and you don't have open markets to do business in. So that's the next point you have to discuss today as a very important point. And of course, you can't do business if you don't understand each other. So people-to-people contacts are very important. And don't underestimate that people-to-people contacts is just a fun for culture and education. No, it's better understanding of each other, better understanding of each other's cultures, better understanding of the business habits, which is very important, the business habits of all the parties involved. Because even these 16 sitting here in this room from Europe are different by their culture, by their business habits, about their investment habits. So we are here in this room to talk to each other, to make our, as I said before, to make our nations better off. So is the format good? I would say yes, because it's a multi-layer format. We had transport ministers' meetings in Riga this year. We have prime ministers' meetings as a high-level representation tomorrow. And we have business people tomorrow. 600 people will participate. And we have these wise men sitting in this room, and wise women, by the way, sitting in this room. brainstorming, how to make the things, how to make the proposals for those who make the decisions. And we have some very good signs, if I can say, about the Latvian Chinese representation. When I was a president during my time, I visited China every year. And I was really in touch with the top leadership of China. Every time I visited China. China is an open country. We just to go, knock at the door, and they will open. And we see now that the number of tourists is going up. Really, that's what I said before. People-to-people contacts, very simple but very important and very influential ones. The context on the business is showing the good signs, and the opening markets in Latvia's case, that's food production, fish food, and dairy products. This is what is already starting to enter the Chinese markets. The good signs, a lot of good signs. So we have to be very optimistic. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I wish you all a good discussions today. And I hope, and I'm sure, that there are only wise men and women in this room. So, about 5 years ago, I got a gift from the Deputy Foreign Minister of China with nice signatures, both in Latin and in Chinese characters, saying to me, "To a dear and respectful friend." And this book is Confucius Says. So I opened up the page 91. It's important to listen to Confucius. A gentleman concentrates on the following 9 things. Seeing clearly when he uses his eyes, it's about you. Hearing acutely when he uses his ears. Looking mild when he comes to a facial expression. Appearing sedate when it comes to demeanor. Being sincere when he speaks. Being conscious when it comes to his office responsibility. Seeking advice when he is in face of difficulty. Foreseeing the consequences when he gets angry. Asking himself whether it is right when he wants to gain something. And really, I'm sure that there are wise men in this room. Ladies and gentlemen, I finish with just one word. Sese.
President Zafars, excellent. Thank you so much for your wise words, and of course also for Confucius added to your wise words, and I think it underlines also the bridges, what we can build, and this people-to-people understanding is very important, and I think there is already a lot of understanding of this event is additional contribution to this. But I am very happy to continue introducing our privileged keynote speakers, and I have a privilege to introduce President Wang Weiguang, who is the president of Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, who is a member of also the 18th Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party, and also president of Chinese Association of Dialectical Materialism. President Wang, we are very privileged. The floor is yours. Please.
尊敬的瓦尔济斯扎特莱尔斯前总统，尊敬的安德里斯斯普鲁斯所长。
His Excellency Valdis Statulus, the former President of Latvia, and distinguished Director General Mr. Andris Prus.
各位来宾、女士们、先生们。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
在第5次中国中东欧国家领导人会晤即将举行之际，能够和来自中国和中东欧国家的专家学者们相聚在美丽的拉脱维亚首都里加，共同探讨中国与中东欧国家合作 我感到非常高兴。我仅代表中国社会科学院和本届国际论坛的会议主办方之一，16+1智库交流与合作网络，向与会的嘉宾们表示热烈的欢迎和诚挚的问候。
Ahead of the 5th summit of China and the Central and Eastern European countries, I am very honored to meet so many experts from China and the CEE countries in Latvia for a joint discussion on China-CEE cooperation. On behalf of one of the hosts of this international conference, the 16+1 Think Tanks Exchange and the Cooperation Network, I would like to extend my warmest welcome and sincere regards to all of the attendants.
中国中东欧国家16+1合作框架建立近5年来，由小到大，由浅入深，涉及经贸、投资、基础设施、金融、旅游、教育、农业、人文和地方合作等诸多领域，日益丰富和成熟，广泛地惠及了广大的中东欧国家。在结出丰硕成果的同时，也为我们留下了值得珍惜和传承的宝贵经验。
5 years has passed since the 16+1 cooperation mechanism was established. The China-CEC cooperation has developed more extensively and profoundly. The areas of cooperation involve trade, investment, infrastructure, finance, tourism, education, agriculture, and people-to-people exchanges, as well as the local cooperation. With its ever-enriched contents, the China-CEE cooperation has been fruitful and indeed benefited most of the CEE countries. Along with the benefit, it has also left us valuable experiences to pass on and carry forward.
第5次中国中东欧国家领导人会晤明天就将在里加举行，这显示出拉脱维亚政府对中国中东欧国家合作的重视。拉脱维亚作为中东欧国家，特别是波罗的海地区的重要国家，在16+1合作框架以及“一带一路”的倡议下，为推动中国与中东欧地区交通设施互联通同、中欧物业的合作做出了积极的努力。中国政府重视拉脱维亚在16+1合作和“一带一路”倡议中所发挥的积极作用，并愿意借助此次峰会进一步深化与拉脱维亚和其他中东欧国家深化互利合作。
The 5th summit of China and the CEE countries will be held tomorrow in Riga, which shows that the Latvian government attaches great importance to the China-CEE cooperation. As an important country in CEE region, especially in the Baltic region, Latvia has made active efforts to promote the infrastructure connectivity between China and the CEE region, and the China-EU logistic cooperation under the 16+1 cooperation and the Belt and Road Initiative. Chinese government highly acknowledges and appreciates Latvia's role in fostering the 16+1 cooperation and the Belt and Road Initiative. China also would like to further enhance and deepen the mutual beneficial cooperation with Latvia, as well as other CEE countries through this summit.
拉脱维亚国际事务研究所等一批具有国际高端水平的智库及学术机构，与中国社会科学院和16+1智库交流与合作网络近年来保持了良好的合作关系。这也为此次中拉双方机构联合举办中国中东欧国家国际论坛奠定了坚实的基础。
The Latvia Institute of International Affairs is one of the international high-level think tanks and academic institutions which have developed deep cooperation with Chinese Academy of Social Sciences and the 16+1 think tanks network in recent years. The good cooperation between us have laid a solid foundation for the joint organization of this international conference of China and the CEE countries.
希望此次国际论坛能为中国和中东欧国家的智库学者、政府官员们提供一个国际化的、高端的交流平台，让与会的各位代表畅谈对16+1合作的看法和建议，碰撞出各种智慧的火花和政策的建议。
It is my sincere hope that this conference could serve as an internationalized and high-level platform of exchanges on the topic of 16+1 cooperation both for scholars and government officials from both China and the CEE and CE countries. This conference will focus on China-CE relations, the 16+1 cooperation in promotion of the China-EU relations, the connectivity between China and the EU, and people-to-people exchanges between China and the CE countries.
2015年11月，在中国苏州举行的第4次中国中东欧国家领导人会晤上，中国总理李克强提出了3海港区合作倡议，以及将2016年定为16+1人文交流年的建议。3海港区合作倡议对于推进“一带一路”倡议与中东欧国家发展战略的对接，促进中欧交通基础设施的联通，以及打造产能合作样板，都有重大的意义。
During the 4th summit held in Suzhou in November 2015, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang put forward an initiative involving the ports in the Adriatic, Baltic, and the Black Sea. And he also suggested that the year of 2016 should be made the year of 16+1 people-to-people exchange. The 3 Seaports initiative bears great significance for pushing forward the connection between the Belt and Road Initiative and the national strategies of CEE countries. It will also promote China-EU connectivity of transportation, as well as build new models for industrial capacity cooperation.
中国与中东欧国家的人文交流，在过去的1年里也成果显著。经第4届16+1领导人会议通过的苏州宣言倡议，由中国社会科学院牵头组建的16+1智库交流与合作网络，推动了国内智库与中东欧智库之间的多学科、多领域、多层次的机制化合作，推动相关研究院深化了与中东欧国家各级各领域的科技合作，在协调中国国内政界、商界、学界资源，发挥智库决策咨询功能方面，1年来已经做了很多工作，扮演了16+1智库合作引领者的角色。作为今天会议的主办方之一，16+1智库交流与合作网络，今后愿与在座的中东欧国家智库、学术机构的代表们共同努力，使双边的人文交流结出更丰硕的成果。
The people-to-people exchange between China and the CEE countries has also achieved fruitful outcomes. According to the Suzhou Guideline, the 16+1 think tank network, established by the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, has promoted the multidisciplinary, multi-field, multi-level, institutionalized cooperation among think tanks of China and the CEE countries. And it also deepened research cooperation in various fields between think tanks. The network has done tremendous work in coordinating resources from political, business, and academic fields in China, and it also played a leading role in China-CE think tank cooperation. As one of the hosts of this forum, the 16+1 think tanks network is ready to make efforts with CE countries and the CE think tanks who are present here to produce more fruitful results of bilateral people-to-people exchange.
女士们、先生们，中国社会科学院一直是中国哲学社会科学的最高殿堂，也是中国最重要的思想库和智囊团。中国社会科学院已经是亚洲最大的智库，在国际上也一直享有盛名。中国社会科学院所属的欧洲研究所，更是中国研究当代欧洲政治、经济、社会文化等领域的重镇。中东欧研究是 欧洲研究所的重点研究方向之一，也是16+1智库网络的秘书处及办公室所在地。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences is the top think tank in philosophy and the social sciences in China. Our academy is also the largest think tank in Asia with a worldwide reputation. In our academy, there are many institutes. Among them, the Institute of European Studies plays an indispensable role in the research on politics, economy, society, and culture of contemporary Europe. The study on Central and Eastern Europe is one of the key focus. And in the Institute of European Studies, and there are also the Secretariat for the 16+1 think tank network.
女士们、先生们，我们期待进一步加强同中东欧国家智库及学术机构的 实质性合作。为此，中国社会科学院及其领导的16+1智库交流与合作网络，计划今后与有意愿的中东欧国家智库、学术单位合作建设智库型的研究机构。研究机构计划设立在中东欧国家，目的是推动中国及中东欧相当问题的研究，从智库的角度为16+1合作提供智力支持。我们期待有更多的中东欧国家智库、学术机构参与上述的合作建设中来，共同推动中国中东欧国家合作机制的进一步发展。
Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to strengthening substantial cooperation with CEE think tanks and academic institutions. To achieve this goal, the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, along with the 16+1 think tank network, plans to establish joint research center with CEE think tanks, who are willing to cooperate with us. The joint research centers will be located in CEE countries. It aims to promote research on China and CEE cooperation, thus provide intellectual support to the China-CEE cooperation from think tanks' perspective. We expect more CEE think tanks and academic institutions to join the above-mentioned initiative and to jointly promote the further development of 16+1 cooperation.
最后，感谢拉脱维亚外交部和拉脱维亚国际事务研究所为筹备此次国际论坛所付出的努力，预祝本次中国中东欧国家国际论坛取得圆满成功。
Lastly, I would like to express my deepest thanks to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Latvia and the Latvia Institute of International Affairs for your efforts in the preparation of this conference. I wish this conference a full success. Thank you.
谢谢。
Thank you, President Wang, for your strong encouragement. This is an example of people-to-people engagement, and I think this will be an event where we enrich our knowledge and mutual understanding and mutual trust further and deeper as well. And I think that the debate in the afternoon and also already after the break, I think will just strongly contribute to this. Thank you also for your cooperation in putting this event together. We are really finding the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences a very important instrumental partner in this. So it's crucial for us to cooperate, but I also would like to underline it's very important to cooperate with our Central and East European partners. So this is a 16+1 format, so this is not just bilateral. So we are very happy to have this 16+1 format connected even wider with European formats and also with the One Belt and Road initiative as well, so which is, I think, very important as well. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward and, of course, wishing all the success with the debates after the coffee break. But before we go to the coffee break, which will start in a minute, I once more would like to invite everybody to give the last round of applause to our keynote speakers, our co-partners. This is the event which made possible just with this partnership. Thank you. And now we have a coffee break, and then we come already in a very deep discussions after the coffee break at 10:30. Thank you so much.